Okay, so good afternoon, everybody. So today we will have a special health topic, coronavirus and our immune system. I think this topic, I think a lot of people are keen, and it's a hot topic now. So let's take a look at this latest statistic on this coronavirus. And as per 21st August 2020, that's 2 years back, when I checked the statistic, I think there are 22,500,000 confirmed cases of COVID-19 worldwide, and including 789,000 deaths reported to WHO. I think this is a very high number of infection and both for the death. You can look at the map here. These maps show that the number of cases in every continent or every country. So what is coronavirus? Coronavirus is a large family of viruses which may cause illnesses in animals and humans. It means that it's not only infect humans, but it's only infect animals. And there is the possibility of cross-infection, although the chances is low. And they believe that this virus is from an animal, a bat. And in fact, coronavirus is not new. In human, there are already several coronaviruses are known to cause so-called these respiratory infections. For example, the common cold, I think, for example, influenza or H1N1, to a more severe disease such as Middle East Respiratory Syndrome, we call MERS, or even the severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome, SARS, that happened, I think, 18 years ago, if I'm not wrong. And the most recently discovered coronavirus since last year November timeframe in Wuhan is named as COVID-19. So this COVID-19 is a coronavirus. I think everybody know about it. And actually, there are various types of this coronavirus. I purposely compiled a table on various types of this coronavirus or viruses and break down in terms of the when they first report and the total number of infection, total death, and total death versus infected, and also the reproductive number. Okay, let's start with this SARS. SARS, I think it started at 2002. I think I still remember when I worked in this American company to prevent infection. So we have to work two teams. The management had to separate into two teams, and we cannot. And when we're having morning meeting, we have to separate the teams. So they to prevent one team kena the SARS, then we can rest a whole half of the management team, then the other half of the management team can take over. And then this was also what happened now in most of the company. And the SARS actually first reported in Guangdong, China in November 2002, and the suspect animal source of transmission is from the bat. Same with the COVID-19. I said suspect, not confirmed. And total number of infection is about 8,436. Total death 812 as per the data. And the total death percentage versus infected is 9.6%. Okay, let me share with you this reproductive number, RO. Okay, what's reproductive number? It's actually a person will infect how many people? It means that in SARS case 1.7 to 1.9 means that a person will infect 1.7 to 1.9 people or close to 2 people. So this is a situation of SARS. In fact, 18 years ago when having SARS, it already caused havoc in our society already, affected job and everything. But later, let's look at the COVID-19 cases. That is actually a very tiny number. We move on to talk about MERS. I think we don't know about MERS. You don't know much about MERS. Well, MERS don't really hit us in Singapore. The first report cases in Saudi Arabia on the September 2012, 8 years ago, and the suspect animal source of transmission is camel. And total number of infection is about 2,500, not a lot. Total death 866. But this is a deadly coronavirus infection because the death versus infected is 34.3%. It means out of 10% affected, close to 3 to 4% died. So this is how serious MERS is. But luckily, the reproductive number is less than 1, means that it's not easy to get infected or not easy to get transmitted from person to person. That's the reason, very lucky, the MERS is actually infected or reproductive number is low. So even the mortality rate is high, but we are still quite safe. Okay, we move on to currently what we're facing is COVID-19. And its first report place is Wuhan, China. And reported on December 2019. Suspect animal source is bat. Okay, I think this one same with the SARS. Total number of infection as per 21st August, that's 2 days ago, is, as I mentioned, 2,253,000, and the total death is about 789,000. Total death versus infected is 3.5%. It's high, but it's still less than SARS of 9.6%, and reproductive number is 2.0 to 2.5. Okay, so it's higher than SARS and higher than even the H1N1s, which I'm going to share. That's why this prevention of transmission of this disease is very important, because the infection rate is very high. So what is the meaning of 2.0 and 2.5 for this reproductive number? Okay, you look at the remark. If the reproductive number is 2.5, then one person with the disease is expected to infect average of 2.5 others. So that's why Singapore government now is want to have all the preventive measures, including working from home, wearing masks, 1 meter separation. If you really want to move down this R0 to below 1, reproductive number to below 1, it means that then the cases will be shrinking, because the infection will be less than 1 already. When time go by, the cases will just go down. And this is, if this happens, then government can open up more activity in the society. But if the RO is more than 1, then perhaps government have to do lockdown one more. So that is a case of significant of this reproductive number. So influenza A, H1N1, I think everybody are very familiar, but in case you don't know, first place of report is Mexico, March 2009. It's a swine flu, so they believe it's from pig. So just on the year itself, April 12, 2009 to April 10, 2010, actually 6 million people affected. Actually, it's just like a normal flu, no? And the total death is about ranging from 151,000 to 575,000, and the total death percentage is less than 0.1. So the reproductive number is 1.28. So it's much less than SARS and much less than COVID-19. But actually, it's quite contagious really, but it's more than 1. So we can see, you compare all the data here, all the 4 types of the coronavirus that we are currently that in the history or currently happening. So actually COVID-19 is actually very contagious because the reproductive number is very high. The total death is also the total death percentage versus infected also quite high. Compared to SARS is lower, but compared to MERS is also lower, but the infectious number is very high. I think that's why it's a concern. Okay, So this one is the information about the coronavirus in the history. So the next one I talk about is the symptom. I think everybody know the symptom. Just recap. The most common symptom of COVID-19 are fever, dry cough, and tiredness. Okay, that's why we are more concerned. So that's why if you go to every places, public places, they will measure your body temperatures. So you have fever, so high chance that they might suspect. And the dry cough, tiredness, also signs of virus infection. Other symptoms that are less common that may affect some patients include body ache, pain, nose congestion, headache, pink eye, sore throat, diarrhea, loss of taste or smell. So this one actually it seems that it's quite it's also one of the symptoms, common symptom. Rest of skin is discolorization of finger and toes. This is an interesting symptom. In case you don't know, people who are affected by COVID-19, they might have discoloration of toes. I attached 3 photos here just for you to see. So you look at your toe on your hand. So those symptoms are usually mild and begin gradually. Okay, and some people become infected but only have very mild symptoms. I think that's the case. So let's continue. Most people, 80% can recover well from the disease without needing hospital treatment. Okay, but 20% who has got COVID-19 become very seriously ill, especially lung. So they might have this difficulty breathing symptoms. And that one is the most dangerous happening for COVID-19 patient because the lung being affected. And that's why the person might be need to given oxygen, or if he cannot breathe by itself, he have to be do ventilator. It means you help to let the machine help the person to breathe. But if the person still with the machine still cannot breathe, so they still have a last resort. They call ECMO machines. This is this machine is used for people who do heart bypass. It means that actually the machine can help to rest the lung and the heart and take over the function of the heart and lung. It means that it can exchange the oxygen and carbon dioxide in your blood, and also have some dialysis function on the blood to take out things like urea. Okay, so it's a very advanced machine, and actually not many of these machines available in the hospital. But in Singapore, I can tell you why our fatality rate is so low, because the doctor try very hard, even to a last resort, using this ECMO machine. And this is a very expensive machine and only used for people who do bypass and limited machine. But Singapore hospitals are trying their best. That's why a lot of critically ill COVID-19 patients were saved using this machine. Okay. So older people, those with underlying medical problem like high blood pressure, heart and lung problem, tend to have risk of developing serious illnesses because COVID-19 affect blood vessel. So the blood vessel, the blood flow become affected. So those with heart problem, hypertension, lung problem, diabetic, cancer, they always have already have problem with the blood circulation. So we've aided these infected COVID-19 viruses and then make the blood flow even bad or worse. So that's why the person might become very, very ill. Last is very important. However, anyone can catch COVID-19 and become seriously ill. It means that don't think you are young, you are immune to this COVID-19. You can see some youngster in some of the Western country. They call COVID-19 party, want to get affected. They are quite naive thinking. They think that they are affected, they'll be okay. But I can tell you, I read one story. This young chap went for a COVID-19 party, got infected, and he died because of COVID-19, and he's very young. So don't assume that the person is young, you will not get infected, and you get infected, you won't be serious. Although statistics show that you are less serious, but chances of seriously ill because of COVID-19 also high for young people. So what we can do is prevent the infected and spreading of COVID-19. Okay, I think this information a lot of people know. Regular hand wash with alcohol-based rub or soap. That's why all the alcohol-based rub was snapped up at the earlier phase of the COVID-19. Maintain at least 1 meter between yourself and others. I think in many countries in Singapore, this is still the rule. Avoid going to crowded places. I think we try to stay at home. Don't go out unnecessarily. Okay, so this one is the advice. Avoid touching eye, nose, and mouth. So because if your hand accidentally touch the surface or the person that actually infected with the COVID-19, when you touch your eye, nose, and mouth, it might be infected. Follow good respiratory hygiene. It means that cover your mouth and nose when you cough or sneeze. So this is important. And one of the things that when you cover, you try to use the wrist. Cover it with your wrist, not with your palm, wrist or back of the palm. So then you won't get, when you touch any surface, let's say you then, in case you got viruses, you infect others. Okay. Stay home and self-isolate even with minor respiratory symptoms. Because COVID-19, as mentioned, 80% is actually don't need to go hospital. It means the symptoms is quite mild. Even you're seeing slightly cough or even slightly running nose. So please stay at home just to safeguard yourself and also safeguard other people. And if you have fever, cough, and difficulty breathing, seek medical attention. So I think this one is this one is difficult for a lot of people. A lot of people tend to be for example, just a small problem, like a small cough, they thought they are okay, they still go out socializing or even work. I think this is not viable now. Okay, now I'm going to talk about some myth about COVID-19. I think this myth is actually put out in the WHO website. Okay, just to inform you, all the slide on COVID-19 that I'm presenting is actually, I get it from WHO website, because in the internet there are a lot of information on COVID-19 and some of them are actually, to me, is a myth and not accurate. We will only use the information published in WHO as a standard and guideline. So I think this is important. We don't want to mislead any one of you. Okay, so I will, all the slide on COVID-19, 0是 a different deal. It's actually based on the information on WHO. So this one is definitely accurate. Okay, talk about myth. COVID-19 advice for the public, myth buster by WHO. Okay. Facts number 1. 5G mobile network do not spread COVID-19. Okay. You might think this is very interesting. Who would think that 5G mobile network will spread COVID-19? Okay. But you don't laugh. That in the early stage of the COVID-19, there are rumors strongly going on saying that 5G mobile network, because of speed of transmission, it can transfer the virus. This one is published by World Health Organization. So just to tell you that there are so many or so kind of misleading information of COVID-19 in internet. So let us don't spread rumors and follow. That's the reason why WHO can put out this to tell you 5G mobile network do not spread COVID-19. I think this is very logical, but they put it there because some people believe into this. COVID-19 is spread through respiratory droplets when an infected person coughs, sneezes, or speaks. People can also be infected by touching a contaminated surface and then their eye, mouth, or nose. That is an infection means. Answering phone from a COVID-19 patient will not get you infected. Okay? So, Rose, don't laugh. Okay. So, this is rarity, so we have to always refer to the accurate news. Fact number 2, COVID-19 is caused by virus, not by bacteria. So this is important. There's difference between virus and bacteria. Okay, if you don't know what's the difference, later I'll explain. So COVID-19 is a virus, not bacteria. So it means that if it's not bacteria, the antibiotic will not work. Some people who become ill with COVID-19 can also deal a bacterial infection as a complication. In this case, antibiotic may be recommended by healthcare provider. There's currently no licensed medication to cure COVID-19. If you have symptoms, call your healthcare provider or doctor or COVID-19 hotline for resident. So the question here is, antibiotic will not work. But why doctors still give antibiotic for the health provider? So it's a very standard. Normally you have flu, you have the running nose, okay? Then you go see doctor. Doctor will not give antibiotic. But this flu, after you recover, your immune system is low, it's very easy to get infected by bacteria that cause sore throat. So sometimes antibiotic taken is actually a prevention of the person might be attacked by bacteria after that because of the low immune that caused by the virus attack. So you have to understand why sometimes doctors still give antibiotic, even got flu. But Singapore nowadays, doctor will not do so. Last time, yes. Because they have to prevent you from getting bacterial infection. That will become very sick. So that's why antibiotic is given. So in this case, COVID-19 is a virus, not bacteria. So non-antibiotic will work. Okay, another myth. People think that when the weather is hot, exposing yourself to the sun or to temperature higher than 25 degrees does not prevent or cure COVID-19. So I understand that when the COVID-19 hit Myanmar is very hot, right? I think in Yangon or Mandalay, easily more than 40 degrees. I'm not sure now still hot or not. So sad to say that even hot temperature, this COVID-19 virus still active. Okay, and you can catch COVID-19 no matter how sunny or hot the weather is. Countries with hot weather have reported cases of COVID-19. To protect yourself, you still have to go back to the basic. Make sure you clean your hands frequently and thoroughly and avoid touching your eye, mouth, and nose. I think this is the advice. Okay, number 4. I mean, we know that people go for vaccination against pneumonia. So do vaccine against pneumonia protect you against a new coronavirus? Okay, in case you don't know, there is a vaccine available for H1N1 flu infect, we call flu jab. So it's actually flu jab is advised if you travel. Even if you don't travel, it's also advised to take because that will help you to prevent against influenza. I personally got one jab on January. Okay, I also very kiasu one. I jab for the H1N1 prevention because my thinking process is this. Because I don't want to be confused. Sometimes you have flu symptoms, you don't know whether it's H1N1 and the coronavirus. So I'm being kiasu, so I jab the H1N1. Actually, I thought I'm kiasu, but there are a lot of people being kiasu in January. When I go to the clinic, I ask the doctor said the 4-in-1 strength finished already, left the 3-in-1. What's the 4-in-1 and 3-in-1? Actually, H1N1 had been mutated to 4 type already. So the later one is 4-in-1. But the time people already take all the thing, unless the old one 3-in-1, so I have no choice. I also choose the 3-in-1. Okay, so this is H1N1 jab. So this is an example of vaccine. I think we are all waiting for vaccine for this COVID-19. Okay, in Singapore, people who are above 65 years old also are encouraged to inject pneumococcal vaccine to prevent one type of pneumonia. Okay, if you are Singaporean above 65 years old, you can go to the hospital or those lung clinic to inject pneumococcal vaccines, and you can use your MediSave to pay for it. This is actually Singapore government or Singapore Ministry of Health want to prevent old people from become very ill because of the lung infection. One strength of the this pneumonia causes bacteria. So actually, for those who have respiratory symptoms and old people, they are encouraged to zap pneumococcal vaccines. That is to prevent you to get lung problem. But it will not prevent you for coronavirus. But that is also good, you know why? Because when the person got coronavirus, your immune system is weak, your lung is weak. And if you kena the pneumonia, I can tell you, it's very serious. So actually, the bottom line, this pneumonia causes pneumococcal vaccine for the protection will not work for prevent the COVID-19, but it still can be jabbed. Okay. Okay. Last one I'll share with you. The new coronavirus cannot be transmitted through mosquito bites. Okay. In fact, there are about 20 of the myths. Today I'm going to share 5 due to time constraint. I only choose that one that is related to us. Okay. Put it this way, Singapore now, beside the COVID-19, another one will be dengue fever. Okay, dengue fever is really at the historical high for this year now. So you can see all the mosquitoes, they're happily traveling around, okay, in Singapore, and it causes a lot of problem. So people are asking, hey, this sucker suck my blood and go to another person. Will the virus transmit or not? Think of it should be, huh? But the actual fact is not. Okay? Then it's the same thing. The new coronavirus is a respiratory virus which spread primarily through droplets. Okay? When the person cough and through saliva. Okay? So clean your hand, blah, blah, blah. There's no evidence that this mosquito will transmit coronavirus. So you cannot bite by mosquito, don't worry. You only get dengue, but you not got COVID-19. So it's okay lah. Huh? But in Singapore, better be careful. Dengue is okay, it's happening now. Okay, are there any specific medicine to prevent or treat the new coronavirus? I think this is the last one. So any medicine or not? Okay, so far no. We are waiting for the vaccine. But there are some top leader in certain country, especially there are top leader in US. I don't name who this top leader. He claimed that certain medicine can cure COVID-19. But that is the myth. So to be specific, there is no medicine. We are all waiting for the vaccine. Okay. So if you don't need to wait for vaccine. Wait something. Okay. Okay. Before we will move on to talk about immune system. Okay, I think immune system, this one I want to talk after I cover the COVID-19 portion of material. Okay, so what is immune system? Immune system protect our body against infection, diseases caused by pathogens, including viruses, bacteria, fungus, and parasites. What are the differences between these 4? Viruses, bacteria, fungus, and parasite. I will have one slide talk about this. And immune system is a system of cell, tissue, and organs protect us against invaders by attacking them while leaving healthy tissue alone. So actually our immune system will attack all these invaders, pathogens. Okay, so immune system actually there are 2 external. External means that our skin, mucus, membrane, our nose hair, actually that is the one that actually can protect us from all these invader or pathogen. For example, skin is a largest organ that actually protect us from all these invader. Mucus, yes, like our mucus in the nose, that actually will stick all the pathogens. Hair, nose hair also good. You also trap some of these pathogens. Okay, internal will be our immunological cell, divide into first line and second line. Okay, I think a lot of you might understand what is first line and second line. First line will be phagocyte and NK natural killer cell. Phagocyte actually is the one identify and exterminate all the pathogen when you see. And NK cell also on the first line. At the very first time, you also attack the mutated cell, including cancer cell. I have a slide to talk about the mechanism later on. Second line is a T cell. receive message from the phagocyte, which is first line, to tell us what form of this invader or the pathogens. Then they can have a T cell to eliminate the enemy directly, or they inform B cell. B cell will produce antibody and bullet to fight. Okay, I will talk about this in detail later. So this will talk about first line and second line. Okay, you can see this diagram talk about phagocyte include macrophage, mast cell, and some of these cells, natural killer cell, T cell, and B cell. Okay, you don't need to know this, just for your information. Just for your information only, don't need to remember. Okay, disease by pathogen, as I mentioned, bacteria. Bacteria is a one-cell organization, are responsible for illnesses such as the sore throat, urinary tract, and TB. These are examples of disease or illnesses caused by bacteria. Viruses is smaller than bacteria. Viruses is not a cell organism. He will attack cell and he will actually take over the cell. Viruses cause a multitude of disease ranging from common cold to AIDS. Cold is very simple, AIDS is very serious. Fungus, many skin diseases like ringworm and athlete's foot are because of fungus. Okay, fungus also can affect your lung and nervous system. Parasites, parasite is actually more bigger. It's also a tiny parasite that is transmitted by a mosquito bite, for example, malaria. Other parasites may be transmitted to human from animal feces, but parasite is infection is less now because of the improvement of hygiene in worldwide. Okay, so what are the challenges of immune system? Okay, 80 to 90% of diseases of the human body are related to immune system. That's why I say, or we know, if the immune system is optimum, you won't get sick easily. So this one is a message since this one. The invader or the pathogen encountered by human evolve over time. It means that even for bacteria, we are actually having a lot of antibiotic to counter bacterial infections. But bacteria are very smart. They have to survive themselves, so they also transform. That's why now we happening is this antimicrobial resistance. It means the bacteria will not scared the current antibiotic anymore, so they call themselves superbug. None of the antibiotic today were able to so-called handle this mutated bacteria. That's the worst scenario. So viruses is the same. Viruses is also transform. That's why people are talking about the vaccine for the COVID-19. Even it come out, will not for long life. You know why? Even H1N1 now already got 4 string of the so-called they have 4 string of protection now. So the vaccine will need to revise, update, just like your antivirus for your computer will need to update. So people are worrying the first vaccine come out for COVID-19 already obsolete. But don't worry, even if obsolete, you will still have certain protection, so it still work. So, but to tell you that even vaccine or medicine will not work 100% in this complicated environment. So we must rely on our self-defense function or immune system. We have to defend ourselves, our immune system. So for COVID-19, no effective medicine could be used at this point of time because we are not familiar with the virus. Only supportive treatment, for example, sufficient nutrient, energy, rest, or lung support if the person lung affected, etc. And while waiting for the patient for their own immune system to work and defense against the pathogen. That's how the current situation. There's no medicine, there's no vaccine for COVID-19. You need to put support treatment, then hope for the person immune system develop and fight themselves. So if there's something that actually can help the person immune system to develop, that's very good, right? Faster, of course, there's the product we want to talk today. Okay, what are the immune organ responsible for immune system? Thymus. Thymus is where? It's in front of your chest. Thymus is actually formation of T cell. Tonsor is actually, we know, is here. I think tonsor is in the upper of the throat. So a lot of people thought that tonsil no use, but it always cause pain for some people, can just cut away. But tonsil is important because it distinguishes invader for destruction. So actually he can is a first line where the phagocyte will determine what kind of invader it is when they inform T cell. Sprint is filter blood, have a function of filter blood and distribute T and B cell. Lymph gland, we have a lot of lymph gland all over the place. This is a place with storage and white blood cell information. Bone marrow, this way we produce all the important white blood cell, especially B cell we produce directly. So this one is the immune organs. Okay, why certain people the immune system is low? So common causes of low immune system, 4 common causes. Stress. I think although there's no very solid evidence of this, but I think more or less this is true. Stress will cause headache, pounding, chest pains, uneasiness, and overall tense feeling. I think this one, if you're stressed, you might have this. And this one is actually together, it will suppress immune system to a point that is severely compromised. So this is stress, actually is a culprit of lower immune system. Not enough exercise. Regular exercise can help the function of neutrophil. Neutrophil first line defense. So actually, when you're not enough exercise, the neutrophil actually will not be so active. Then the first line actually weak. So actually this is no good. Lack of sleep. When we are sleeping, the cell in your blood that fight infection are working. So because when we are asleep, then we can rest all the organ. Then all this blood will have time to go and fight infection and keep the infection not to come in. Improper nutrients. Okay, I think a lot of junk food, I think we like contain fat, especially polyunsaturated fat, tend to suppress immune system. I think you have to avoid. Too much sugar also no good. Okay, because too much sugar will inhibit your phagocyte. So don't take too sweet food. So although I'm a person who likes sweet stuff, so I do have to cut down also. So 4 common cases of low immune: stress, not enough exercise, lack of sleep, improper nutrients. So now is a COVID-19 pandemic. Make sure you manage these 4 to keep your immune system on the bank. Some medical treatment cases, like people who go for chemo and radioactive for cancer treatment, they also affect immune system. Okay, so what is a healthy lifestyle and diet that can boost your immune system? Stress management. Okay, so forcing yourself to take regular break from work. Okay, so work is one of the source of stress. So also try not to quarrel with people. Quarrel with people also induce stress, and allow more time to get from places to place instead of rushing everywhere you will go. I think this is also one of my problem. I used to try to pack my appointment back to back, so I get myself so stressed. So now today I'm more relaxed. Okay, so this is a stress management which is important. Maintain a steady exercise regime. Okay, as simple, take a slow stroll. So that's what I'm doing now. So every morning I will go for minimum walking of 4 kilometers to 6 kilometers. I try to do that minimum 6 times a week, except Sunday, because Sunday I have to prepare for my presentation. So encourage everybody to do exercise. Okay, a slow walk will be good. At least 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night. Remember, that will give your immune system to work. Health, diet, and supplement. Okay, have a well-balanced food, including fruits, vegetable, whole grain source. Okay, whole grain source is good. Okay, to support immune system. Okay, by providing crucial vitamin, mineral, phytochemical, and antioxidants. And we might need dietary supplement or health food. I think Lingzi is one of the good sources. I'll talk about it. So, and how you know your immune system is not so good? I think this one I want to share with you. So you take a look of this list. Let me drink some tea first. So, and if you answer yes to any of the following questions, it is a sign that your immune system needs support. Do you catch cold easily? Especially, do you get more than 2 colds a year? Are you always suffer from chronic infection, like, for example, UTI or sore throat? Do you get frequent cough, sore, or having genital herpes? So this is a sign of your immune system is low. Well, herpes virus is almost in for everybody. When your immune system go low, then you have this cold sore. Cold sore is something that actually on your lips, okay? Are your lymph glands sore and swollen at all time? Suddenly, you might feel pain at your lymph nodes. It means that actually, that is also good. It means that your immune system is working, okay? But it means that actually, there's some infection going on. Do you have ever now, or have you ever had cancer? I mean, a person have cancer, it means that your immune system is not working normally. But your immune system is working normally, you should able to, or the natural killer cell is able to suppress the cancer cell. So that's the idea. So your answer to the above are a lot of yes. So then you might have to pay attention to. A weakened immune system lead to infections. Okay, infection cause damage to the immune system. Then you further weakness or weaken your resistance. So it becomes a vicious cycle. The more infected, remember when you infected by virus infection, high chance that it might attack by bacteria after that. So it's a vicious cycle. When attacked by a bacteria, then the immune system will getting weaker. Then you are easy to get affected by virus. So you are actually getting weaker and weaker. So you must break the cycle. So that's the idea. Okay, the immune system, our ultimate line of defense. I think somebody might see this slide before. I mentioned before, we have our immunological cell is phagocyte and natural killer cell. That's the first line. If this first line is strong, you won't get, or the invader pathogen don't get into your second line. T cell and B cell are the second line. Okay, so T cell actually is identified and besiege and destroy invading foreign substances. B cell produce antibody. Okay, I have a subsequent slide will explain to you in an easy manner. Okay, so somebody might seen before, but I want to reiterate. So there is 14 days what happen in your immune system if you're attacked by the invader or the pathogen. Okay, 14 days, day 0 to day 14. Okay, let's see. So for example, so there are a lot of cartoon now. So for example, you attack day 0, okay, you attacked by, for example, a virus or bacteria. Okay, so there are, for some reason, there are flu going on. Let's say for the normal flu, normal flu viruses. We don't talk about COVID-19, but COVID-19 is a virus. So because of flu season going on, there are a lot of viruses, flu viruses come in. So come to your body, okay, day 0. So what will happen to you? Okay, your phagocyte will start work first. Okay, what is phagocyte? Okay, so let me show it to you. I'm not sure can you hear the sound. I totally put the sound. So to create, to wake you out. Don't want you to fall asleep. Okay. Can you hear the sound? Knock your head, you can hear the sound. The tick 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 tick, can hear now? Okay, that's good. Okay, the first line, the first one we have is phagocyte. Okay, so this is the first line defense. Actually, what he do is that you actually engulf or ingest the invaded particle. So we also call him patrol sergeant. He actually do the patrolling. Okay, so when you see viruses or bacteria, just swallow. Actually, I have a short video clip, but I don't want to show. I didn't show to you today because time constraint. So remember, phagocyte first line. He see something, he eat. That's all. As simple as that. Okay, but what happened? More attack. There are a lot of viruses coming in. Okay, so he eat until very full already. Okay, too many of them. So he quickly, I saw somebody eating, and so too many viruses. So then you need somebody help. We have another savior called natural killer cell. Okay, this natural killer quite cool. Look very cool. Okay, so they will come and help. natural killer cell is what? Okay, let's see. Okay, natural killer cell is also the first line defense. He actually recognized the infected cell in the absence of antibody or marker, so he can identify this invader. He can kill directly. He can kill bacteria, viruses, and then even those cells infected by viruses, and even mutated cell. Mutated cell is cancer cell. That's why we are saying your immune system is actually normal. So in our body, they always got this mutated cell that might transfer into cancer cell. So your natural killer cell is strong. You will just kill them, move them away, including the cancer cell. That's the job of natural killer cell. Okay, so actually, these are all the first line defense immune cell, phagocyte, and natural killer cell. Okay, when this thing happens, in the background, there's this thing happening. So when this phagocyte, remember phagocyte just now, he actually follow or caught the invader. He will present the sample to this T cell. T cell is from second line. This guy very smart, wear the yellow color sticker spec. Very smart. He's a very smart fellow. Okay, this phagocyte caught some of them, show it to the T helper T, the T cell, telling that I caught the bad guy. Okay, so the bad guy look like this. Okay, so you just remember this. So actually, phagocyte have a function of informing second line T cell on those invader or pathogen that caught for some reason. What's the reason? Okay. So this very smart guys creature. What is this? This is actually helper T. T cell got two. One is helper T, one is cytotoxic T. I'm talking about helper T first. This is the one identify and memorize the form of the bacteria. Remember, it was shown by the phagocyte. Then he can start to giving warrant to inform the rest of the so-called immune cell, saying that, hey, this something or some pathogen are attacking us, so watch out. Okay, so he giving warrant to run out the virus and bacteria if there is still around in the body. Okay, so T cell actually, remember, he will memorize the form and giving warrant. Okay, so then he will start to send warrant. Okay, he's busy use a printer, but make sure the printer got ink lah. So you have to print all the warrant. Okay, to give to more people, give to more immune cell. Okay, to tell everybody currently we have this virus, this flu attack. So watch out. If you see this, quickly caught them, kill them, or whatever, round them out. This one is a warrant. Okay. Okay, T cell also another thing called cytotoxic T cell. Okay, this one also look very smart, but this guy is more garang. Okay, based on the warrant, he see something, he see the viruses, they just kill them. Okay, so he based on warrant, he see somebody, he just kill them. Okay, so you can see the cytotoxic T cell chasing people or chasing all the invader, second line fighting, follow instruction to kill viruses and bacteria. Okay, his duty is kill viruses and bacteria. Okay, but he also got problem. Okay, he sometimes kill the wrong one. Okay, because of the warrant given. That's why I tell you, the printer not so good. Sometimes the picture of the pathogen, the bad guy print not so clear. So he captured the wrong one. Sometimes it's just a normal cell in the body. And because the printing of the picture not clear, the T helper T give the warrant wrong one. So he killed someone, he killed the wrong one. So that's why you have this hyperimmune problem. There's nothing wrong with our good cell, but it was gonna kill. They cause swollen and all this. This one is because of the helper T is actually and the cytotoxic T, their communication got problem. Okay, maybe the warrant got problem. So take note, sometimes cytotoxic T cell kill the wrong one. This is the causes of the so-called autoimmune problem. And this is also a problem in COVID-19 cases. Okay, I'll tell why later. Okay, and sometimes these invaders are humongous. There are a lot. Okay, so now then they need machine gun ready. Okay, so they need to find a machine gun. Okay, so this machine gun is who? This machine gun will be B cell. So this machine gun is B cell, is a second line fighting. He actually follow instruction to kill viruses and bacteria. He follow instruction, whose instruction? T cell. Okay, and you will use bullet, or we call antibody. Okay, so because of this, a lot of viruses. So in order to quickly kill them, you need all these B cells to produce an antibody. Okay, now we talk about vaccine. How vaccine work? No, everybody are waiting for COVID-19 vaccine. Actually, the vaccine itself is a pseudo-virus. It's a COVID-19 viruses, but he don't have the infected feature. But it's the actual viruses, but don't have the infected feature. You're injected to our body. So when you inject our body, the whole immune system, the 14-day cycle will start. Remember, phagocyte will catch them. Natural killer cell will try to get them. When phagocyte catch them, they'll present it to the helper T. Helper T will print the warrant. After print the warrant, will inform all the cytotoxic T and inform the B cell. B cell will quickly produce all the bullet and standby. Because the pseudo COVID-19 viruses in the vaccine when injected to the body is a lot. So body will quickly produce all the bullet, make all the machine gun ready. To wait for who? To wait for the real COVID-19 viruses. So touch wood, these people who got the so-called vaccine and he kena the real COVID-19. But don't worry, all the machine gun ready, all the bullet ready. The moment the virus go into the body only, he sure cannot shoot by the bullet. So nowhere to survive at all. So this is how the antibody work. Because the pseudo-virus already in to trigger these 14 days of the so-called the process. Okay, presenting this comic also want to tell you to understand. I want to explain the vaccine portion also. Okay, so this is very important. Okay, so day 14. Body win the war. Okay, clap hand. Okay, so the thing is this. 14 days. So sometime, remember, you can recover the day 7th. The day 7, the day 7 is where the first immune work. If the first 7 day immune not work, you trigger the second line, especially the B cell to produce the antibody. That's why if you have a virus infection, if you cannot recover within 7 days, imagine sometimes you have flu, 3-4 days, okay, then you recover. But I tell you, 3-4 days you cannot recover, you have to prepare for 14 days ready. Because the second line of triggering will be 14 days ready. Okay? So and 14 days come, high chance you're attacked by bacteria, then it might need antibiotic. So if you have some flu, 3-4 days you settle, your first line is good, that's it. But if you cannot settle, means that your first line is not so good, you go into second line. Second line, if it's still good, 14 days you settle. But 14 days you still cannot settle, you're affected by bacteria, then you drag on already. So that's how the immune system works. So it's important your first line and second line is all in the optimum conditions. Okay, so that's what we want. Okay, so we want our immune system win the war every time. How to make immune system win the war every time? That's a key. Okay, how we want to have optimal immune system? Okay, destroy the pathogen immediately. That's how the first line work. Okay, But if you read too much, it will come into your body, your second line, break through your first line, go to second line. Then you want to enhance production of immune cell, which is your T and B cell, within very short time frame. Okay. Then you also want to prevent overreactive immune system. You also make sure the T helper cell is okay, or else you'll cause a lot of inflammation or swollen in your body. Inflammation and swollen is good because they actually try to protect your immune system, your body from all the viruses and bacteria. But if an overreaction, that's why you cause a lot of inflammation and inflammation. Then you have this swollen thing. Then you also want to produce the antibody, which is a bullet with short time frame. Okay, so this is the thing we want to happen. Then you will be able to protect your body against any pathogen, any bacteria, any viruses, including the COVID-19 viruses. Okay, so I want to introduce to you one of the products. That is Gaudenema. Okay, I will go through very fast. I think the background of Gaudenema, if you are new today, first time attending this talk, you can ask your friend more detail about this Gaudenema, because today I actually only want to go through the function and benefit of Gaudenema. Actually, in short, Gaudenema already have 2,000 years of history and have a 50 years of modern research. It means it's a product that actually taken by people for many 2,000 years. I don't think any of the supplement and market people taking 2,000 years already, and they are close to 50 years of modern research of this. So it's a long history of consumption and proven by medical so-called research now. Okay, Huangho Gaudenema. Okay, so actually now we have more product. I term it as health prevention and maintenance series. That's how I call it. I call it basic. Yongken Gaudenema is a specialized type. Yongken Gaudenema 2 is a premium and a therapeutic type. Okay, we have now equivalent target Gaudenema. Not target Gaudenema, but equivalent targeted Gaudenema. There's a B, I, and K. So today I'm going to focus on Yongken Gaudenema and Yongken I Gaudenema, because we are talking about our immune system and all the pathogen infection or the virus infection. So I'm going to focus on these two links today. Okay. So let me introduce to you Yongken Gaudenema. So remember, the best strategy to enhance the immune system, and the only way to do it is a complete immunoregulatory function on the first line and second line. So Gaudenema is one of the best choice of health food. So this one is actually affirmed by the Health Ministry of Taiwan for this Yongken Gaudenema A0003 certificate on this Yongken Gaudenema product on immunoregulatory. Okay, so what is it? Okay, so this is very slide. This is a new slide. Okay, this slide I just prepared, and this morning I think it's very good. I remember the first line, we have the phagocyte and natural killer cell. We have second line T cell and B cell. So Yongken Gaudenema, with the affirmed efficacy by the Taiwan Health Food Accreditation, he actually have this 5 proven property. First one, Yongken Gaudenema capable of enhancing the vitality of phagocyte. Remember, phagocyte is the very first one. He had to do the job. He actually increased 80% of fighting power. If you want what is the meaning of 80%, you can go into the website and see the proven how it works. Okay, that is actually enhance the vitality of phagocyte, and you also enhancing the vitality of natural killer cell. Remember, the two first line, actually it can increase the indices by 2 times. Okay, first line. Second line is capable of promoting the growth of immune cell, which is T and B cell. For these two, okay, you can have more army in this case. Okay, here is all the petrol sergeant. Okay, and Yongken Gaudenema capable of regulating the function of T cell. This one do want the immune system to go into hyperactive, that causes a lot of inflammation in the body. And Yongken Gaudenema capable of promoting the production of the antibody, which is the bullet for your machine gun. So this one is basically proven why our Yongken Gaudenema is actually very good to enhance your immune system. and not only enhancing, it's a more regulating feature. So I think this is very important. Okay, let me move on to COVID-19. Why I said regulating features is important. This is one of the study done on the early immune responses in COVID-19 patient. I think I shared this information to you all earlier. So they say, actually, in this COVID-19 patient, they always have this respiratory stress. The respiratory stress means that it's actually where your lung being affected. Okay, when a virus invaded a body, the immune system mount a protective response. I think I mentioned just now. But sometimes immune system kick into overdrive, stimulate the overproduction of protein called cytokines, which can cause inflammation. This is the one that causes the problem. Okay, so I think just now you know that actually this one is actually the helper. Sorry, this one is a T cell. It's a cytotoxin T cell. So what causes a culprit? This is actually the hyper T. So this happened in COVID-19 cases. Actually, when the virus attack, the immune system will produce what we mentioned just now, the first line, second line. But the problem is actually they are over kiasu. So they actually produce too many of these T cell that actually causes this thing called cytokine storm. Then this will lead to inflammation in your lung. Then that is where all the problem come in. People have breathless, the lung infected, blah blah blah. So people need to depend on ventilator and all this. So remember, Yongkian-Galderma is able to regulate immune cell, possible of preventing cytokine storm for COVID-19 patient. I think this message is very important. So it's to tell everybody, not point just taking something to enhance your immune system. But in the market, there are a lot of things to enhance immune system. That might not be good at all. It might need to take something that regulates immune system. But if you always push your immune system, that might kill you eventually because your body going to overdrive, a cytokine storm. That's why in a newspaper, I remember I read this. One of the possible drugs that can do treatment on COVID-19 cases is steroid, prednisolone. And I remember the day, that was last month or 2 months ago, when I can't remember what WHO who published it, said, okay, prednisolone is used as a standard treatment. But I think this is not new because for lung infection, they have to use prednisolone. But I know very well because of my wife last time have lung infection problem. So doctor have to use prednisolone. Prednisolone is a steroid that actually prevent scarring in the lung. That is actually prevent this cytokine storm, prevent inflammation. So it's a kind of thing that is actually will prevent this override mood. That's why steroid or prednisolone being used for COVID-19 cases who have lung problem. Okay, so actually our Lingzi is very good because that is actually can regulate immune system. Okay, that actually can preventing all this cytokine storm, prevent the lung damage. I think that is a message. So how to consume? Okay, and for maintaining, we always say that 4 to 8 capsule. But they say, for example, that the person already affected by these bacterial viruses like flu or whatever, I think you have to take 12 capsule and above. And for people who want to address overreact immune system, I think we need 20 capsule of Yongkian-Galderma daily. Even after recovery, but there's still a residue virus or infection in the body, so we still have to maintain a 12 capsule of Yongkian-Galderma for months. So I think there's a better way. So this is a dose recommended for Yongkian-Galderma. Okay, now we got Yongkian-I, how to consume. Yongkian-I is actually, I would say, used as a prevent virus infection too. So it prevents flu or cold and stomach flu infection. You still have to take Yongkian-Galderma, but if the person is always prone to flu infection, so it's good that he take 1 sachet of this Yongkian-I together with the Yongkian-Galderma. And for example, if a person really kena the virus or being affected by the viruses, so he can take 1 sachet every 2 to 4 hours or 3 to 6 sachets every day to get best result. So this is how do you consume Yongkian-I Galderma for cases of preventing, for a person who really have cold or for the person think that he actually because too close to another person who have virus infection, being flu or even COVID-19. So he can quickly take Yongkian I. So if you want, in the current situation, you can take Yongkian I now, one sachet a day to prevent you being affected by viruses, not only the COVID-19. Okay, so but if really cannot attack already, so you better take maybe 3 to 6 sachets every day, besides your Yongkian Gardonema. Okay, I will show you another slide. There's a proven on the PubMed. Remember, I talked about Lingzi have been taken by Chinese for the past 2,000 years, but for the past 50 years, a lot of research being done. And you can refer to this research paper in the PubMed, PUBMED, or US National Library of Medicine. So you can see that actually there are a lot of articles. Like for example, regular immune system, there are about 460 articles talk about this one. It's not what I say only, but it's all proven by the science, scientific proven. So actually it's very good to get your immune system. Remember, I think for virus and bacterial infection, we want an optimal immune system. Improve blood circulation and related chronic disease. Remember, COVID-19 patients, a lot of them die of complication because they have hypertension, high cholesterol, high blood glucose, kidney problem, heart problem. Because one of the complications of COVID-19 infection is burden to the blood vessel or damaging the blood vessel. So Lingzi being very good to improve blood circulation and related chronic disease. So it's very good. Actually, we still do not until today, those people who recover from the COVID-19, how bad their effect to their blood circulation system. There are people believe that the damaging might be there already. It need to take very long time to recover to recover. And if you are old, you might not recover at all. All this already have scar in your lung, scar in your whatever places in your blood vessel. Okay, increase liver cell. Liver is important. Okay, to the Chinese, liver is important as part of the immune system. I think Lingzi for liver have been proven, and detox. That's important because any of the virus and bacterial infection will left a lot of so-called free radical in whatever places that they attack. So Lingzi is very good to quickly actually clean out all these places. So okay, testimonial. We don't have an actual testimonial of COVID-19, although I received 1 or 2, but that is from my WhatsApp, but I don't want to show it to you. I really want to show it to you some of the proven cases that published in the Gardema magazine. Not the COVID-19 cases, but it's on the coronaviruses or similar viruses. Okay, this one is shingles. Shingles also by virus, chickenpox virus. People who have chickenpox, high chance when you age, when your immune system is low, you're gonna shingles, or we call snake. So this shingles sometimes it's very painful because it attacks your nerve, and you can pain for 1 month. And for certain old folk, it might pain for years. Okay, so this lady when he got shingle, he take Lingzi, and he had fast recovery. Actually, it's true. No, I cannot shingle before. I think 7 years ago. Very painful. Okay, and I quickly take a lot of Lingzi. I think less than a week, I have recovered and no more pain on my nerve already. I can tell you, shingle pain is very painful. In case you don't know what it is. Another testimonial, H1N1. H1N1 and influenza A is almost the same coronavirus. So H1N1 can be quite severe flu. It's a severe flu. Okay. So actually with the Lingzi, he discharged from the hospital in very fast manner. Okay. This younger 18 years old also have influenza A. He also take Tamiflu together with Lingzi. He also recovered very fast. Chickenpox, gastroenteritis. It's a stomach flu kind of thing. Lingzi is fast recovering. This one is intestinal virus infection, the stomach flu. You also fast recover, just a few days only with Lingzi. Okay, so this one is a testimony on Lingzi. Okay, I'm going to move on to talk about some of other products that actually from Songho that actually help on immune system to fight all these viruses or invaders. One of them is pollen. We all know that people always advise that even the doctor said you might need vitamin C to enhance your immune system. Yeah, we have a Yongkian pollen. It's a very natural food. contain more than 16 vitamins, 16 mineral, 21 amino acids, 28 nucleic acid, 94 enzyme. This is very good. Okay, I'm taking about 20 capsules a day. Okay, so that's to provide me with the balanced nutrients. So it regulates nutritional balance. So actually this will fortify your immune defense. Then you also enhance the absorption of ganoderma. So you take 2 灵芝 and 5 pollen, it's like you're taking about 3 to 4 灵芝, that because it helps absorption of 灵芝 in the body. And a good immune system will need enough nutrients. Besides 灵芝, you also need a balanced nutrient in the body. So that's important. Lactoberry. Lactoberry, I think a lot of people like it. This one is a probiotic and prebiotic because a large part of our immune system is actually in our gut. So actually, if you take lactoberry to provide you a gut balance in your intestine, then you'll strengthen your immune function. Okay. So so that's why we need to have a balanced gut health. Then your immune system also good. So let me do a conclusion. COVID-19 pandemic is ongoing around us. WHO just declared today or yesterday night saying that I think we only have seen the chances of holding subside in towards 2024, if I'm not wrong. So there are a few years down the road to go. So optimal immune system is utmost important to protect body from all these pathogens like COVID-19. Ganoderma is one of the best health food to enhance and regulate our immune system. It's technically proven by all the international research, and for me, I've been in the business for 17 years, and also I've been consuming 灵芝 for 17 years. One of the things you will see is that you consume 灵芝, you don't get sick easily, but even you get sick, you recover faster. So this is always a feedback, not just me, but from a lot of my customers who have been consuming my product for many years. I think a lot of people in this Zoom meeting also consume 灵芝 for many years. Also, they can share with you all this observation. You take 灵芝, you don't get sick easily. Not say you don't get sick. You get sick, you also recover faster because the optimal immune function we can achieve in our body. Okay, small product, other small product like bee pollen, lactoberry can be consumed as part of the balanced diet formula to enhance immune system. Okay, that's all for me for today.